All right, what is up? We are live. I got the Iowa race this weekend, paint scheme preview coming up right now. The link I just dropped down there in the chat if you'd like to follow along with me here. And first here is going to be Ross Chastain with the Bushlight Farming Chevrolet here for Trackhouse. Interesting look on the car here today. Always doing good things, but they got the tractor and the red farmhouse. You got the corn here on the front. So good looking car here for Ross. It's going to be slim pickings here today. I'll just go ahead and be honest with you on the paint schemes. So he's going to be dialed in at number one. Number two, Austin Cindric. He's got ideal door on the front of that Menards number two. It's not Ryan Blaney this week. It is Austin Cindric in the Menards car. Bioethanol on the side here. A little bit of a different scheme here, but it looks basically the same for Austin Dillon. Like I said, few slim pickings here, so it's going to be a reach. Noah Gregson's got the RageEnergy.com. Manage flow, maximize profits on the side of the number 4 Ford Mustang Dark Horse, the green, the blue. Kyle Larson with the Kyle Larson HendrickCars.com scheme. Solomon Plumbing got the camo, the urban camo, the white, the gray, the black, and then the orange number 6 there for one Brad Keselowski, who had an excellent qualifying effort. We'll get to that in just a second. Gamebridge number 7, we've seen it. Cheddar's number 8, we've seen it. Kyle Busch had a little issue there in practice. It affected his qualifying. We'll see how that plays out today. Once again, we'll touch on that in a minute. The blue Napa car here for Chase Elliott. And we got the shrimps. We got the shrimps on the side of the Seabest Hy-Vee Chevrolet for Ty Dillon. The bracket darling from a week ago, a few weeks ago, I should say. Mostly blue, but you've got actual shrimp on the car. If you like shrimp and you like seeing shrimp, which I don't know how many people are that like that, that's on the side of his car. Bob's, but pushing him for possibly ugliest paint scheme. The Bob's Discount Furniture, orange and teal for James Dennis Allen Hamlin. It's not pretty. There's no two ways around it. Wabash on the side here for Ryan Blaney. They're a regular sponsor, but you don't see it that often. And there's not that much to pick from. So we're going to put him at number 2 so far, right behind Ross Chastain. Celsius, we've seen that one a bunch of times from AJ Allmendinger. Good looking car, but it's not new, so we can't really put it in there. Bodyguard on the side here for Chris Buescher. Orange and the chrome orange and black sort of a normal scheme for them at this point. The regular scheme here for Chase Briscoe and the Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Ream, a normal scheme for Chris Buescher. And here we go. Moving into number 2 now. We're going to bump down whoever I just put at number 2. Menards here with the Master Force tools on the hood. This is a different Menard scheme, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it up here because it is a dark green Menards. Ford Mustang Dark Horse for Josh Berry. So here we go. He's number 2. Ross is number 1. Regular scheme for Joey Logano. Altru for Bubba Wallace. It's different. It's got a kangaroo on it. We'll put him at number 3. Raptor, they've got good colors, but they can never get the scheme right. So we're just going to skip over Fast Willie B there. Loves normal scheme for Todd G. Riley Herbst, his normal monster scheme. A Mystic, sort of looks like the Laughing Clown malt liquor car from Talladega Nights here for Zane Smith. Joker, maybe the Joker mobile for Zane Smith. We'll put him at number 4. Let's see. HaasTooling.com, their regular scheme there for Cole Custer. The Dollar Tree scheme this week for John Nemechek. Eric Jones and the number 43 Massey Motor Freights. If it wasn't for some other schemes, he would definitely have the ugliest scheme of the weekend, but it's a scheme. Tyler Reddick with the McDonald's scheme. It's mostly red, and then they've got the sesame seed bun. It's not the worst one I've ever seen, but I don't know. I can't get on board with it. It's kind of weird. He does have Casey's there, Iowa staple, Casey's pizza there on the left rear quarter panel. So Casey's, The Beast, and McDonald's. Drink it all up. Eat your cheese pizza and get some McDonald's. Let's see. 47, the NOS Energy, the regular NOS Energy scheme there for Rick Stenhouse Jr. Good looking scheme, but we've seen it a bunch of times. 48 Ally, regular scheme for them. Coastal Oil, we've seen that a bunch of times for Cody Ware. Monster for Ty Gibbs. 60 Mohawk, the red, white, and blue. Good looking car for Ryan Preece. Going to go ahead and bump him into number 2. Josh Berry, number 3. Ross Chastain, number 1. And now we're just going to bump them all down because here is the only good car of this weekend by far. Number 1, Joey Gase with the number 66, King of the Hill Ford for Hulu. King of the Hill doing a reboot or a continuation, actually, I should say. So there you go. Joey Gase going to win Paint Scheme of the Year. Then you got the Delaware Life, the 77 Minor, 88 Red Bull, which good scheme, but we've seen it a bunch of times at this point, and the 99 Choice Privileges for Daniel Suarez. All right, that's what they look like. Let's take a look at where they qualified. And starting shotgun on the field, he had a little bit of trouble here in practice. Didn't get a qualifying lap in. Is going to be Kyle Busch. Joey Gase in the King of the Hill Hulu Ford, going to be rolling off 36, so probably won't have a lot of speed, so you'll be able to see every detail on that 66. Shout out to Carl Long for getting the cars out there, though. Cody Ware going to be rolling off 35th, Todd Gilliland 34th, Ryan Preece 33rd, Ty Dillon 32nd, Noah Gragson 31st. 30th through 25 is going to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr., John Nemechek, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, and Eric Jones in the 25th position. 24th will be the 35 Toyota Camry of Riley Herbst, Zane Smith rolling off 22nd, Tyler Reddick 22nd, SVG 21st, 20 through 15 going to be Ty Gibbs, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, and Bubba Wallace in the 15th position. And the rest of the field here: 14th, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, 13th, Josh Berry, 12th, Denny Hamlin, 11th. 10th going to be the machine of Justin Haley, and the rest of your top 10 is going to be AJ Allmendinger, Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, Ryan Blaney, and his best qualifying effort, I think, at this track or to date, maybe. I don't know. Hasn't qualified super well. Brad Keselowski in the 5th position here. Austin Cindric in 4th. Kyle Larson 3rd. William Byron is 2nd. And your pole sitter, once again, turning into the Ryan Newman of 2000 and whatever year Ryan Newman sat on all those poles. Chase Briscoe. Once again, your pole sitter. So there you go. There's how they qualify. That's where they qualified. But how are they going to run in this race? And with only one race, Ryan Blaney sort of led the most laps. So he is going to be one to reckon with here at 201 last race here. 80 laps for Kyle Larson. Josh Berry led 32. 16 for Chris Buescher. 7 for Christopher Bell. 5 for Brad Keselowski. So let's just go to how driver averages rates them, because they did a pretty good job last weekend. So Ryan Blaney at a 146 is going to be your overall favorite. William Byron at a 120 is going to be next. 116 is going to be Chase Elliott. Josh Berry at 110. Joey Logano at 100. So if you got a fantasy team, those are going to be your top picks there. 97 for Seabell, 94 for Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman 91, Daniel Suarez 90. Then you got Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski, 88 and 86. So Brad Keselowski looking like a good sleeper pick. Daniel Suarez looking like a good sleeper pick as well. For the race winner by the numbers, obviously it's going to be Ryan Blaney, but I'm going to go with Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson's going to win this one, and Josh Berry, I'm going to go with Josh Berry as the sleeper pick, but don't sleep on William Byron or Chase Elliott or Christopher Bell. In this particular, or Joey Logano, actually. Don't sleep on Joey Logano. Feels like this could be a Joey Logano win, so you never know. All right, let's jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. Poll question is up. Who is the highest finisher? Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Christopher Bell, or Chase Elliott? So there you go. Good poll so far. Nobody's not super far ahead just yet. Let's see here. Fun fact, Blaney is the only person to win Iowa in the Craftsman, Xfinity, and Cup Series, says Jamie Schweitzer. There you go. There is your fun fact about Iowa. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way in, says Rosie. It would be much appreciated. Go Ryan F. and Blaney and his wife, as his wife would say. We'd like to see Mad Brad bring out the flag for a victory lap. This could be the one where Brad Keselowski punches in the win. And if he can do that, that would significantly shake up the playoffs. It would actually hurt both of his drivers, teammates, whatever, because he's the owner and he's a teammate with them. It would hurt both of them as they're both right there at the cutoff line. So a Brad Keselowski win would sort of be bittersweet, but it is a good track for him, and it definitely could happen. Cassandra saying, what's up from North Idaho? What's up, Cassandra? What's up, North Idaho? Thought Ross had it yesterday. Unfortunately, the JRM team got in its own way. Yeah, JRM, it happens a lot with them guys, which is it's sort of a good problem to have. It means you're always at the front, but they seem to sort of take wins away from each other, unfortunately. What's up, PC Gone Rogue, one wise guy? What's up, Lanes? Speedway Classic on Fox after dealing with rain yesterday. Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I forgot all about it. So maybe I'll catch the replay on that one, which is a good thing because they had to deal with rain. 66, best paint scheme of the weekend by Country Mile, says Joseph Wooden. I agree. I feel like him and Ross are really the only ones that threw something out there. The 60 was a good looking car, and I like the different direction for Menards there that they went with the dark green on Josh Berry's car. Yeah, the 11 scheme is loud but not good. Says they've got good bright colors that normally would go together, but they have managed to find a shade of orange that doesn't go with that shade of teal. And it looks like a hot bag of ass. Let's just be real about it. Let's see. Any Blaney? I feel bad that Denny Hamlin has to drive that thing, to be totally honest with you. Any Blaney fans here, says John Ray? I think there's quite a few. I know Jesse Daly is one of them. I have that Bob's Discount Furniture driving into Victory Lane, says in between the lanes. Yep, there you go. I mean, maybe it does get produced as a diecast if Denny Hamlin wins this race. So maybe that's the play. They made one so ugly that they were planning on Denny winning the race so that they would get that thing produced. Any dark horse picks for today? Yeah, I think Josh Berry would be a good one for sure. I don't know if you can consider him a dark horse anymore because he's sort of in that he either runs really well or gets caught up in a crash or crashes himself or blows an engine. He's sort of the DNF or win guy right now. So I don't know if he's a super dark horse at this point, but I would consider him still a dark horse. Joey Gase wins paint scheme of the week and wins the race on Earth 2, says Jesse Daly. So there you go. Jesse Daly getting the race win diecast on Earth 2. Brad will win, says Donald. It is a good track for Brad. So, yeah, if you want to consider Brad a dark horse, too, it's hard to consider a Cup champion a dark horse sometimes, right, though? But given the way he started this season, although he's had a good second half of the season, yeah, Brad could be a good dark horse, too. So far, 2 Fords as dark horses there. I got Byron, Hamlin, and Blaney, and Briscoe, and Elliott for fantasy, and Ross in my garage, says Quattro. I like it. I like the picks. Ross, a little trouble in qualifying, but we'll see what he can do when the race gets going. That's sort of been his MO this year. He finishes races strong, even when he doesn't qualify well. Let's freaking go, BB. Race day and SummerSlam day, says Russell Dominguez. Indeed, it is SummerSlam weekend. So if you're a WWE fan, get your mind right for the pay-per-view tonight. I kind of feel like it's going to be a follow the leader kind of race. You get out of the groove, you're sliding. Yeah, if it's anything like the Xfinity Series race, it's probably not going to be the greatest in the world. Although there are probably worse races out there. Maybe it gets saved by a caution like the Xfinity Series races, like the Xfinity Series race did. BB, who do you pick for the W on Earth 2? I got to go with Rowdy. I'm going to go with Josh Bilicki. there. Let's see. I think or Chase Briscoe. I could see Chase Briscoe doing something wild up at the front at the very beginning of the race and going because he's so hit or miss. So I'm going to go with Bilicki or Chase Briscoe there. I think Cindric may have a better finish than Joey. Could be. Go Watermelon Man, says SRB. Yeah, Eli White, first player to ever hit a home run at a racetrack. There you go. Eli White is in the record books forever and all time. SRB Outdoors W says Quattro agreeing with you on the Ross Chastain pick. Hello from White Oak, North Carolina. Looking forward to Darlington. What's up, Rodney Collier? And of course, he is a 22 man for sure. Shout out to Eli White. Go Braves, says Jesse Daly. It's on Fox right now because of the rain delay last night. Says Dirty Def. Okay, so there you go. If you want to watch the game, it is on Fox right now, so check it out. Pretty cool deal. They were able to have a ball game in Bristol, sort of a big venue. And Marcus, he's pushed that as a big venue for future events as well. So I think they're going to continue to do crazy things with Bristol going forward. They're going to have wild restarts, 4 wide. Yeah, the restarts are going to kind of be the show here because I think once they get sorted out, it's going to be follow the leader. It seemed really hard even in the Xfinity Series to pass. So these Cup cars seem to have a worse time passing. But you never know. Sometimes when it's a bad track for the Xfinity cars, it's a great track for the Cup cars. So hopefully it's a good race one way or the other. I didn't see the race, but saw the results. And my pick, Jesse Love Jr. almost won. Says in between the lanes. Yeah, Jesse Love, top prospect, getting things done for sure. That's Bob's Discount Furniture Diecast is on the scroll, BB. Says in between the lanes. So Lanes wants that hot diecast, that hot number 11 diecast. Whether it's a hot diecast or hot garbage, that is subjective. Hey, BB, hope you're doing well. Kyle B can't catch a break, says Jimmy Howard. He sure can't. He just got loose in practice, overcorrected, and the bad thing is the car had good speed. That's the worst part about it. But hopefully the backup car has good speed too. Austin Dillon looked like he had pretty good speed. Maybe not race winning, but top 15. So hopefully he'll be able to finish the race and get things done. They had top 15 speed at Indy. They just ran into the back of people on restarts and stuff. So they just got to maximize the speed when they have it. Priest also runs really well at Iowa, but starting 33rd is an issue. Yeah, it's going to be a track position. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a track position race. I thought the race yesterday was a lot more racy than Dover or Indy. At least the leader got passed a couple times yesterday, says Dirty Duff. Could be. I listened to it on MRN, so it was hard for me to gauge it watching it, but just listening to it on MRN, it sounded like people were gapping, looking at the time gaps on the NASCAR app. Yeah, I heard it here first. For Bubba today, says Jamie Schweitzer. Could be. He's really good at short track type races, so this could be a back-to-backer. Jamie Schweitzer picking the 23 to go back-to-back. Hopefully Marcus is able to get a roof on Bristol. That would be super cool. If they could get a roof on Bristol, especially for the day race, because then you would have shade from the sun, in theory. Kyle Busch and the Braves fan, Chase Elliott, were in the booth last night for the Speedway Classic. Cool deal. It was cool that they were able to do that. A little bit of a flight, so I'm sure they were got on the flight pretty quick. That's not far. That's not a super flight, though, I wouldn't think. Ross has been crushing restarts this year. Expect him to make up ground quick if that's the case. Yeah, he's one of the best in the game at restarts, whereas Chase Elliott this year, for some reason, has been one of the worst in the game, and that's sort of been the MO for Chase this year: qualifying and restarts. Unfortunately for him, what was it? Qualifying and pit stops for Chase Elliott. I take that back. But yeah, Ross Chastain, one of the best at restarts for sure. The report of Baseball Classic were not good. They ran out of food. How could they not know how many tickets they sold? Says Bruce Garvey. Hey, I mean, it's one of those things. First time doing it, they'll know for next time. So first run at it, that's the way it goes. Baseball fans apparently buy more food than NASCAR fans, I guess is the takeaway from that. How many DNFs today? Oh, that's probably going to be, I would say, over 5. I think we're going to get over 5 DNFs today. Just because one of those restarts, somebody's going to go 4 wide, and I think it's going to take out at least 3 cars. Do you ever adjust your fantasy lineup after qualifying? I do not. I don't. So I actually set it before qualifying because I don't want qualifying to affect what I'm doing, which is a strategy. I know the leader, I know one wise guy has a different formula for doing it, and he does factor in qualifying into his formula. So his formula probably better. So because he's leading, so by a pretty healthy amount over him and Catskill are leading by a pretty healthy amount over third and beyond. What's up, Charlotte? Good morning, friends. She says SVG DNFs, in my opinion, says Jamie Schweitzer. He's actually got pretty good speed here from practice and qualifying, though. So he's starting to, at least speed-wise, figure out these circle tracks for sure. But yeah, he might DNF. You never know. I got the 12 as my favorite, and Brad K as my sleeper. Got a feeling that the 24 and the 5 might have something to say about that, though, says Jesse Daly. Could be. I like all 3 of those picks. For sure. I heard that Andy and Kristen are going to be there, says Rodney Collier. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool deal there. I will be top 25 in fantasy after today. Book it, says Quattro. There you go, Quattro making his march. He's sandbagged all season, but now the march begins. The march begins for Quattro in fantasy. Thanks for the shout out on your last video, my friend. I'm really sad about Mexico City not coming back. It's a dream come true going to the race. I had a blast. I'm so glad you got to go to that. I hate for you that they pulled it away. Hopefully it's like on a rotation. Hopefully they get like a rotation and they go back there for you at some point. I think overall the race was a success, but super glad. If it never goes back there, I'm super glad that you at least got to see that one. So that was super, super cool deal for you to be able to do that. And glad you saw the video with the shout out. Super glad about that for sure as well. I'm 28th right now, says Quattro. So there you go. Quattro got to make up 3 spots to get in that top 25. Did they leave the Frankenstein surface in hopes of making the race more difficult, says Dirty Def? Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Or maybe it was just a financial decision. Hard to say. Qualifying matched up with my fantasy picks Tuesday, says one wise guy. So there you go. Like I said, he takes it into effect, but doesn't always change his picks from that. So there you go. One day he'll show us his master strategy of how he's doing so well in fantasy, and so will Catskill Mountain. I already put. I think those are the first 2. I think I'm getting that right. I already put down the deposit for the San Diego ticket, says Quattro. Hey, there you go. Quattro going to go to the San Diego race. I already got the money down on it. I think it's going to be a good day for Elliott, says one wise guy. Yeah, this is probably going to be a good track for him. This one will turn the playoffs upside down. The winner is going to be John Nemechek, says Waltrip Flair. So there you go. Waltrip Flair picking John Nemechek, the 42 car, to win this one. BB, you ever go to North Wilkesboro? Yeah, I've been to North Wilkesboro a bunch of times. Went there when they did the racetrack revival, and it was one of the first tracks I ever went to. Either that or Darlington was the first Cup Series race that I went to. I also worked a race there during All-Star weekend when they had the late models and stuff before the All-Star stuff. So I've been there for a lot. I've been there for a lot of North Wilkesboro events. Super cool. One of those, one of the, I've got a video I got 2 videos about North Wilkesboro. I got the racetrack revival where it just does the Dale Jr. highlights, and then I've got the one where we worked with Tate and Rodney Sandcastle was driving the number 1 in super late models and stuff. So there's 2 videos. If you want to go check them out, there you go. Shamelessly self-promoting videos on the live stream. Let's see. Mexico City holding some World Cup events, I think, hurt the chances of going back there in 2026. So maybe that's part of it. One day, says one guy. You're correct. I'm taking the lead back today, wise guy. Hope you enjoyed being P1 for a week. So there you go. There you go. Jesse Daly taking the lead back. So there's Catskill Mountains, Jesse Daly. He has revealed which fantasy team is his. He's probably revealed that before, but I'm just now realizing it. Good luck, bud, says one wise guy. I'm going to check with those North Wilkesboro videos out, says Dirty Def. Yeah, I think one's just called North Wilkesboro, and one is Dale Jr. North Wilkesboro highlights, I think, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember, I'll drop them down in the Discord. KB and RCR cars are not compatible, says Jenna Allison, for sure. So first half of the first season, they seemed to be really he seemed to really be driving well. Obviously got 3 wins. But after that, it just seems like, I don't know if he's pushing too hard or what happened after that, but it hasn't sort of worked out since then. So I don't know if their setups are super far off from what he's used to feeling at Joe Gibbs Racing or whatever. But yeah, it has not been successful after the first half of the first season, I would say, for sure. There is the merch link there from one wise guy. That shout out made my whole weekend, buddy. Praying they come back. What you said in your video is absolutely right. Lots of new fans that you wouldn't expect. It has huge potential. Yeah, for sure. And I think as long as they keep moving it around, and hopefully they will go back to Mexico at some point, but I'd like to see a good rotation of just going to all kinds of different places for that street race in the future. That way you just get people that might not normally watch it, but it's in their city and they're like, and it it's downtown, like literally in their city. Maybe that gets them watching it and that grows the sport. And that's what I'm all about. Like I'm all for the sport growing, because I think it's a great time to go to a race, and just it's a great community for the most part. Yeah, we bitch about a lot of stuff as race fans, but also it's fun. Like a lot of the bitching is in good fun. So it is what it is. I picked 2 cars getting DQ'd today, one of which with a top 10 finish before failing post race, says Jamie Swite. Oh, Jamie Schweitzer pulling a DNF or a DQ for one of his DNF picks. So there you go. We'll see what happens. Can't wait for San Diego next year, says Cassandra. Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. It's going to get a lot of hype, a lot of pump, because I think a lot of people are just going to be super stoked about it, being on a military base and all that good stuff. So I think it'll be a good deal all the way around, for sure. Let's see. What's the bigger problem? KB or RCR, says Joseph Wooten. Chicken or egg, right? I think RCR has the speed, but they have like top 15 speed. I don't think right now that they're like a little bit they're not like super far off, but I don't think that they're like raw speed, race winning speed. I think that they can situationally win races, with the exception of Richmond last year with Austin Dillon, before the restart, before Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spun out and all that crap. Raw speed, he had the Richmond race won, right? Like he was whipping their ass, like he was totally kicking ass. But outside of that, you haven't seen a ton of raw race winning speed from RCR, but they have had top 15 speed, and they're just not maximizing the top 15s. They have a lot of DNFs and they get involved in a lot of wrecks and stuff like that. And part of that is because the raw speed's not there. They're qualifying toward the back of the pack. They're racing with the guys that wreck a lot. Is part of the issue as well. But they do have good strategy. When they finish races well. So the speed is there, but maybe not the race winning speed. So it's a little bit of both, because I feel like the drivers are pushing a little bit to get more out of the car than is there. Whereas which is, as a driver, it's hard to just accept what's there with the car. I get that, but I think it's a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B, for sure. Let's see. The World Cup messed up the Mexico City race, and NASCAR is scared to go up against F1 in the spring, says Enzo. Yeah, I can understand both of those issues. So maybe after the World Cup, maybe they slide back into Mexico for that. I think Josephus finally gets it done. Had a great run in an underperforming Collin car yesterday and gets the W today, says Cody Ledger. I like the way you're thinking there. This could be, at some point he's going to break through, right? So you got to pick him at some point. But yeah, this could be the race where he breaks through. I like the pick, Cody. Good pick. I think RCR car has the cars to compete, but not top 5 speed. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think that's probably the issue. I think they can get a good top 10s and good top 15s, but right now they're just a little bit off on setup, and I think they'll eventually figure it out. RCR, they either run really hot one year or they run really cool one year. They just never are consistently like really good, like a Hendrick and stuff like that, unfortunately. But hopefully they get there. RCR is old and slow. However, Kyle said, I hate these cars. Both are at fault, says Jenna Allison. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's a little bit from column A. They don't have race winning speed, but I think they got decent speed. And I think because he doesn't have race winning speed, and it's Kyle Busch and he likes to win races, he's pushing it a little too hard, and that's where a lot of your DNFs come from, for sure. Unfortunately, how should NASCAR promote themselves to compete with other series, hooking up with media outlets? Well, it's hard to say this because it's just two different ways of going about your business. But I do like the way that IndyCar took less money to get on regular TV, whereas NASCAR took maximum amount of money and we're like, we don't care where you put us, just give us maximum amounts of money. I like IndyCar's approach. That's one thing they could do. They've already done the other thing. They're pumping out content on their YouTube channel and all their other social media outlets, because they've got that nexus there in Charlotte where they're just making content every day. So I like the aspect there, and they're also doing a bunch of like documentary type things for Netflix and stuff like that. So I think they're doing all the right things except for the TV contract stuff. I think they should take a little bit less money to get more exposure by having all the races on regular TV. I think that would be the move. That would be the move for me. See if a new winner will be Busch, Bowman, or Brad, or Busher, says Jamie Spicer. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that on the next poll question because I've still got it written down for the Tuesday stream. That's actually going to be the poll question for the Tuesday stream. Let's see. I'm surprised Kyle or Junior didn't get together in the Kyle or 9 Xfinity car just to see how he does in good equipment, says Bruce Garvey. Yeah, Austin Dillon, I think he scraped the wall early, but he was still able to get like a top 10 or top 15 in that car, even though it was hard to pass. So yeah, for sure. I'm surprised they didn't drop him in there too. But it is what it is. Austin Dillon got the call. Austin Dillon top 15 yesterday from race results. There you go. Top 15 for Austin Dillon in that car. If we do see, says Jamie Schweitzer, KB drives better in cars with more horsepower and acceleration, says Robert DeHaas. Let's see. I hope I said your last name right. Ordase. Yeah, I agree with you. These cars have too much grip, and it's just a different. It's a different animal than anything that any of these guys have driven before. And I think eventually, and he's got 3 wins in this car, so it's not a lack of talent. I think he just doesn't like this car as much as what he's used to driving. NASCAR needs to do a race in Detroit, or three wins at RCR with this car, I should say. Needs to do a street course. Might be too narrow in Detroit. The street course might be too narrow. The road course on Bella Isle would probably be better. Yeah, so Bella Isle is a good one. It's got that crazy bump where the cars unload. That would be there's going to be at least 3 or 4 wrecks in a cup race on that alone. Even the pace car, I think, wrecked. Was it the Corvette? Yeah, I think the Corvette pace car wrecked there. I think that was the Discord or merch link that I just saw there. Yeah, there's the Discord link from One Wise Guy. Appreciate you there. Let's see. Jesse Daly, do you predict a new winner outside of the top 16, or do Bowman and Busher get in on points? Man, I honestly don't know. I'm thinking we're going to get one winner at least outside of the top 16. So I think it's going to be interesting for sure how it all plays out. I wonder how KB would do in, say, a Hendrick car, says Jen Allison. Probably pretty well, I would imagine. But it's hard to say. He did pretty well. I think he won 3 or 4 races when he was there the last time. So at the beginning of his career. So I think he would be all right there. No doubt about it. Congrats to Bubba. Awesome win last week, says Chris. For sure. Biggest win of his career and the biggest win for 2311 as well, for sure. First crown jewel for both of them, the organization and the driver. KB in a Hendrick car, 3 to 4 wins easy, says Josh Ben. Indeed. I think anybody driving a Hendrick car has the potential to win 3 or 4 races. Same thing with Penske. Same thing with Joe Gibbs. I think all those, once you get to those top tiers, I think you're expected to win at least 2 to 3 races. Do you think the 19 can get 3 more poles? Oh, easily for sure. Robert saying almost 400,000 last week, 300,000 this week in attendance at the Formula One race. NASCAR, pay attention. Yeah, for sure. You definitely have to take a look at what F1's doing, because F1's on-track product is far worse than NASCAR's. But NASCAR, for whatever reason, can't tell the stories of these drivers and tell the stories of the season. And I mean, let's say it like it is. They have a gimmick points format, which hurts the legitimacy of the sport too. What are people really investing in? So don't think that for one second that doesn't play into it. As much as NASCAR wants to downplay it, and as much as people like the playoffs, it does play into it to some extent for some people, 100%. What's the record for most poles in a season? Oh, that's a great question. Is it Ryan Newman or is it Rusty Wallace? That's my 2 guesses. All time, it's Richard Petty at 123, 113 for David Pearson, 81 for Jeff Gordon, and a sweet, nice 69 for Cale Yarborough. Always underrated, never really in those greatest of all time conversations, but he needs to be. We'll talk about that one day on the channel if I don't delete the footage again. Let's see. The record for most poles, I'm still recovering. PTSD. I shouldn't even mention that. The record for most pole positions in a single NASCAR Cup Series season is 19, achieved by Bobby Isaac in 1969. Max Headroom here. Max Headroom. That's an old joke. A lot of people that are younger than me are like, what is he talking about? A lot of people that are older than me are also like, what is he talking about? Let's see. Where were we at here? What's up, John Forrester? I think NASCAR took too much money as possible, so they would have capital for a NASCAR network, a different viewer packages, different levels of commercials per package. Yeah, I'm sure they've got some type of plan, but at the end of the day, it's always going to be better when it's free. So because more people will be able to watch, or free for people to watch, I should say. So that's always going to get you better exposure to grow the sport. Will San Diego be flat like a parking lot, or will it have banking? It's going to be what I've been told from the people in the know is like it's going to be flat, but it's going to be really, really bumpy, and the bumps are going to unload the cars. So you're not going to have like a lot of elevation changes, but it seems like it's going to be a really bumpy course. from what I understand. So there will be spots on that course where it unloads the cars. So it won't be an easy race by far. Chase Briscoe and Ryan Preece are doing great this year, says John Forrester. Indeed, they're doing a great job for sure. Almost like IndyCar is headed for a reboot or rebirth. I don't think the France family would do that, says Brickyard. Yeah, for sure. And they needed a reboot. I think I'm a big NHL fan, and they take let's see. I'm a big NHL fan, and they take the money and make it harder to watch. It has killed their sport. Wish NASCAR would learn from that, says Bruce Garvey. Yeah, I agree. You're gonna limit your reach by taking more money. I agree with that 100%. NASCAR needs a street race in Coeur d'Alene, says Jenna Allison. Have a great day, everyone. Like Daytona in July. Idaho Potato, says Gina Allison. Did you see Mark Martin posting yesterday during the Xfinity race about being tired of all the championship talk instead of the race? It was awesome. I agree 100%. Mark is a vibe. I love him, says Rosie. Indeed, Mark Martin is 100% a vibe. The fact that they did the garage guys did the iced out, like with the old school 90s and 80s drivers with the grills and a big chain and stuff like that. And the fact that Mark Martin went on there and liked those pictures is super awesome. Yeah, 100%. Everything Mark Martin's saying, 100% agree with. I remember Max glitching out, says one wise guy. There you go. At least one person knew what I was talking about. Bobby Isaac has the most poles in a season, 1969. Nice. That's 269 references here. Today, Camaro 50 is on top of it. Looks like Bobby Isaac's pole record is safe, says Dirty Def. Should NASCAR ever do, and I think they raced more races back then too, so it's probably going to be safe for a long time. Should NASCAR ever do the street race in Vegas? That would be dope. Chris MV, I'm with you. I think that would be super cool. That would be super cool. Vegas is one of the races I really want to go to, really bad. NASCAR hoping to make California great again, says Gina Allison. We're not getting into politics. I'm not touching on that. Gotta love Google, says Camaro 50. Indeed, for sure. They're racing on a old flight deck in Coronado, says one wise guy. So there you go. It's going to be probably pretty bumpy, according to what everybody said. So I don't know if they've even released the full track yet, but I think a lot of people are saying it's going to be bumpy. I can't wait to go to Gateway, says John Forrester. Gateway is a good one too. The people are the only thing that make California great, unfortunately, says one wise guy. Yeah, I think that's any city. I think the people make every city great for sure. The 19 pole record for season is like Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak. It will never get broken. Oh, yeah, I'm with you, Just Wooten. It's going to be super hard for it to ever be broken. But yeah, Cal Ripken, 100%. 100%. What that was the biggest deal back in the day too. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but that was such a big deal back in the day. Yes, exactly. He's a real one for that. Shout out to Mark, says Rosie. Indeed, Mark Martin, one of the best out there for sure. I saw Max Headroom on the VH1 documentary. I love the 80s. Says In Between the Lanes. Hey, there you go. VH1 bringing the 80s things. That, oh God, it's from the 80s. I thought it was from the early 90s, but I guess it is from the late 80s or mid 80s. I guess somewhere in there. But yeah, there you go. Max Headroom making a appearance there to the younger generation via VH1 documentaries. Earth 2. NASCAR holds a 24-hour race with teammates of HMS, Penske, JGR competing against each other. Says Jamie Schweitzer. Indeed, that would be pretty cool. I think at some point NASCAR is going to do an Endurance Cup Series race. I think that's what the Le NASCAR Monster. I think that's what that was all about. I think we're going to see it one day. Some asphalt, some concrete at San Diego, and it could be like a clash, like an exhibition race, because you would have to have different drivers in there for an endurance NASCAR race. I think that's something you could see in the future. Really hoping to see Madera Speedway on NASCAR 25. That would be pretty cool. NASCAR 25 has dropped or is pretty close to dropping. They've what was it? Breaking Benjamin is on the list of artists that are on that one. For sure. The only live races I've been to are Las Vegas. So fun, says Jenna. So yeah, Vegas is definitely one that I want to attend. Definitely go to. If total attendance is so important, let's take out each country and total all the ticket sales for racing. How much would that match up, says Brickyard Brickhead? Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I had the Max Headroom Coke T-shirt back in the day, says Dirty Def. Yep, for sure, for sure. When Indy raced in Cleveland, they raced at an airport course. The runways or straights are very bumpy, says Bruce Garvey. So there you go. The runways are very bumpy, according to the Indy. I'm not super familiar with IndyCar, but that's a good gauge for sure. I wonder if San Diego race gets 4th of July for the 250th anniversary. I think they've already announced the date, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong about that. I'll have to go back and look. NASCAR 24 hours at Daytona road course would be very cool, says Camaro. Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be super cool for sure. We see all those Penske, HMS, and JGR compete in its own class every week, just not an endurance race. Yeah, it is. It is kind of literally like what is it, LMP1 and then GTD, relative to how much money is spent with the bigger teams versus the smaller teams. I agree with that 100%, no doubt about it. BB sources tell me there is a test session in NASCAR 25, and you and I are the team doing the test in all series with all manufacturers. That would be cool. That would be cool if it was worked in there for sure. Wouldn't be the first time a team I was working with got into a video game. Used to play a lot of Destiny, and the worst ever fire team, we got a witch, the Weft Witch, in the Destiny game, Destiny 1, back in the day, or maybe it was Destiny 2, but one or the other. We got it in there just from playing so many hours. One of the guys got in contact with one of the developers. Destiny was really cool about that. Anyway, enough about that nonsense. Cody, the San Diego race will be in late June 28th, I think, says Jamie Schweitzer. So June 28th, I think, is the date there. Jamie Schweitzer on top of it. Appreciate you there, buddy. A fun idea. NASCAR drivers pick a number from a big hat and drive that car based on the number they picked, says Gina Allison. That would be it would be a cool concept. It would be the way you put those seats in. It would be a logistical nightmare to get those seats in and out, though. That would be crazy work. For sure. It literally, like, honest to God, in a late model, it can take you like close to a day or a half of a day to get a damn seat in. It's crazy. It's crazy how much actually just goes into mounting a seat. It's pretty amazing. But it's also the most important part, because if the driver's not comfortable, they're not going to do well. I'm holding off on NASCAR 25 for a couple months for reviews before I buy it, says Joseph Wooten. Hey, look, here's my thoughts on video games. I don't play them anymore, but never pre-order anything. Ever. Wait for it to come out, wait for them to get the glitches and the bugs out, wait for the reviews, wait to see what everybody says about it, not the paid shills. Let it be out for a few weeks, maybe a month or two, before you get to see some actual real life reviews about what's going on with the game before you buy it. That's just my thoughts on that. Braves 3, Reds 2, 5th inning, says Dirty Dev. So there you go. 5th inning if you're watching the replay on Fox right now. Any rain for Iowa today? You know what? I didn't look at the forecast, but I think this time of year there's pop-up showers possible for everywhere. I love that random drawing idea. Just give them time to put the seat in, and that's it, says Dirty Dev. 24 hours of Bristol, LOL, suggests that would be an actual endurance race. That would be an enduro for sure. What happened to the new IROC series, says Chris MV? Ray Evernham bought it, and he's still navigating as to what he's actually going to do with it. It seems right now he's happy with just running classic cars the way they are. At the Speedway Classic in between innings, says Sir Wood Rooster. Did you watch the Speedway Classics game at Bristol? I didn't. I forgot all about it, but I'm going to watch the replay probably later today or later tonight. No, BB, the game is live. They postponed it until okay. I thought they were doing a replay, so they postponed it because of rain, and now it's live today. So there you go. I will watch. I'll probably watch some of it here in just a few minutes when we jump off for sure, and I will watch the full replay later. I saw where Dale Jr. and Paul Newman were actually friends during Paul Newman's racing days. Yeah, for sure. That's probably the coolest thing about Paul Newman. He was a really avid racer. In fact, at one point in his career, he was talking about, I just made movies so that I could go racing. So I thought that was fairly interesting for sure. He fell in love with racing so much. And I think at one point in his career also, he just put his age as the number of the car, which was pretty funny as well. Rest in peace, Paul Newman. Also, Paul Newman, of course, if you watch the Cars movies, that is Doc from the Cars series. And the nice little tribute when he passed away was pretty cool. I like Jenna's idea for sure, says Brickyard Brickhead. I didn't watch the Xfinity race. Did Ryan C get any closer to the cutoff line? I listened to it, but I turned it off as soon as it ended. So I don't know about the cutoff line situation in the Xfinity Series. Forecast for Iowa is partly cloudy, 74, very small chance of rain, says Camaro. So there you go. There's a chance of rain, but it is slim. 8 hoping for a top 20 today, says Gina. I think he'll get a top 20. I think that the backup car will have just as much speed as the regular car had, and the regular car actually had some pretty good speed. You could tell he was like, damn it, I wrecked a pretty decent car. I'll never quit you, Rowdy, says Gina. Paul Newman was a wheelman. Adam Carolla made an awesome documentary about his racing career. He did, and I've seen parts of it, but it's been a long time since I watched it. So maybe I'll try to see if I can find that and see if it's still free for me to watch. Wish I was sitting on the wall at the Indy pits in '85 when Paul walked by and put his hand on my shoulder. Oh, I was sitting on the wall at Indy pits in '85. Paul walked by and put his hand on my shoulder. That's pretty cool, Brickyard. That's awesome, dude. Super cool deal. I turned on the TV and the dreaded horizontal lines. Looks like I'm listening on MRN, says one wise guy. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I get that. I get that same situation sometimes, unfortunately. The documentary is called "Winning the Racing Life of Paul Newman." That's it. And that's the one I watched for sure. I didn't know Adam Carolla did that. I didn't know that was an Adam Carolla project though. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool deal all the way around. All right. Final results of the poll question. Highest finisher, Ryan Blaney, is 43%, as voted by you, 22% for can't talk today. It's very difficult. Ryan Blaney, 43%, 22% for Christopher Bell, 19% for Chase Elliott, and 16% for Fast Willie B. So there you go. That's what you guys voted on the poll question. And until the next one, peace. Y'all take them easy. Hope your driver does well today.